It's the second round of the 2013 S League season, and the live game for you tonight pits Japanese giants Albirex Niigata versus 2003 champions Home United. Yes, plenty of change as well for Albirex Niigata. They always do that at the beginning of each season.
That they do. Now, what's interesting to note is that goalkeeping coach Hiroki Hara is now the new #1, while assistant coach Takeshi Nagasawa has joined the playing staff as part of the midfield. Home United, though, very interestingly to note, 14 players in and 13 out.
Yes, Coach Lee Lim saying he feels he has the right kind of squad to win.
Thank you very much, Shazad and Kelly. A wonderful intro there, and just a little look back on what has happened over the past couple of days with the results. And sitting next to me is that legend. He's a member of the 100 cap club, 103 caps for the national team. He's won this competition on 5 occasions, and of course won the Malaysian League as well with Singapore, the Tiger Cup skipper as well for the national team, Mr. Nazri Nasir. Looking forward to this one, Naz?
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul. Okay, I'm really looking forward for this game tonight. You know, I'm sure that it will be a very interesting game and a very competitive game.
No questions that it's going to be competitive. We do know that the Japanese side, Albirex Niigata, always start the season like a house on fire. It's a side that gets assembled, brought together, lots of youngsters, and an average age of just 22 years old shows that they have the intent to bring the youngsters through, and it will give them that physical energy throughout this 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course, you know, because what I can see is it's been all the while Brex been getting a young players, you know, every year they're sending a young players, young team. But it's always the first few matches they come a big impact. But you will see what goes in.
Let's have a look at the team lineup for Albirex Niigata then. We do know that there's just a solitary change to the opening game that they played against Hanuman Muda over in Johor, a 1-0 victory courtesy of Sakamoto. He retains his place. The one change is Yamada goes out and Masataki Sato comes in. It looks as though they're going to be playing a 4-4-2. Sakamoto will play up front with Castanheira, who was actually born in Brazil but was brought up and raised in Japan. Keep an eye out for him, the #7. Hotta is in his 3rd season at the club. The #4, Shunhei Hotta, he is one to watch as well. As for Home United, the solitary change for them in this game, which saw the opening day draw with Brunei at the Bishan Stadium. Not the best result that coach Lee Lim Siang wanted. Out goes Indris Yadam. He was a doubt with his fitness. In comes Mezrezwan, who looks as though he's going to play in a fullback position. This is the predicted lineup. Unfortunately, Lee Lim Siang wouldn't give us the lineup to start with, and we've had to get the thumb screws on him to try and do that. But we think it might be a slightly different lineup to the one that has been given to us, don't we, Naz?
Yeah, of course. Okay, I can see that this position, basically, you can see the lineup has been different. You know, putting Mazid on the left back. You know, I'm sure this will be a very, very interesting lineup coming from Home United.
So the huddles that are accustomed by both sides. The Home United team will be playing in their white strip, and they will be kicking from right to left. Keep an eye out for Matno Raman, who has been fantastic since he's joined the club, and actually got a recall from Sundram in that Asian Cup qualifier against Jordan. And considering that he made his last international appearance back in 2011 against China in a World Cup qualifier, it really is a remarkable feat of what he is doing to the team. There's today's referee. It is Liu Tiam Ho. But just to touch on Matno Raman, what a player he's been and a servant in Singapore football.
Yeah, for No Raman, I've been always liking him. You know, the way he plays, so calm with the ball, and his reading of the game is very well. So I always have an eye for these players, you know, like No Raman.
Looks like he'll be playing the sweeper's role today alongside Nolazli and Ismail Yunus. It looks as though that's a 3 with Mezrezwan at the right wing-back position, and Kamara, of course, who started his career in Singapore with Etoile and played for the Young Lions last year. He just gets missed out there. Here is Bruno. Couldn't control it. Jordan Webber, of course, we remember seeing him last season and scoring some stunning goals. Someone is in sparkling form for Hougang United. He will be playing today for Home United, signed during the off-season. Not a bad player.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Jordan Webb been doing well last year and became one of the top scorer player for the club. So he will be a very good buy for Home United.
Bota just showing his upper body strength there, just looks to keep possession. One thing that we noted with Albrechts last year was their patience on the ball. Little turn from Lee Kuan Woo. He is the marquee player signed by Home United. Of course, 13 caps and 1 goal for the national team, South Korea. Mind you, the last time he played was a couple of years ago, which was for the Suwon Samsung Blue Wings. Hasn't been playing on a regular basis at top level, but nonetheless, having played that amount of times for the national team, a real asset to the club.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, what I can see, normally for 3 years he didn't play, but of course I can see the touches, you know, he's still being there. You know, for football, I think he didn't play for quite some time, but he still continue. He has good touches, good technique. So I'm sure he'll be a good impact for Albrechts.
Albrechts trying to come forward. There is Kamara with the challenge. Ismail Yunus. Thought he was going to be in limbo with the pull-out of Gombak from the lead. Unfortunately unable to meet the requirements this year, so elected to try and take 12 months out to regroup themselves. There's a lot of hassle going on down there. Jordan Webb wants the throw-in, not given against him, so Albrechts will win the throw. It's interesting that Albrechts almost have a pre-season here. They don't really need to go away because all the players and the changes that they make, they come in and out. As Lee Kuan Woo gets his pocket picked, and a chance here. Lovely ball played through there. Bruno is in one-on-one, but the Korean keeper Jang Hong-won quickly off his line and did ever so well there. Here's Webb. Keeps possession. Kamara looks for the little give and go. The Japanese striker Fuki Masato, who looks to go on the outside and overruns that one. Disappointing there. Not too bad though. The game opening up nicely, isn't it, Naz? Because there was a chance at one end, then straight away Home United go down the other end and almost create a problem themselves. Jang Hong-won and his effort there, he came off his line really quickly.
Yeah, it was a great ball passing from the midfield, and I think the goalkeeper read the game well. I think we got to go for that.
Interesting to see how his communication is. We can just look across now. He's yelling and screaming at his players, so that's important from a goalkeeper's point of view.
Yeah, of course, you know, as a goalkeeper, you make sure the defense is always, you know, always on the toe. You know.
Lee Kuan Woo just keeping possession, plays it back inside. Hafiz Rahim just overruns that one, puts the challenge in. It's a strong one, gets upended from behind. Play allowed to continue there. Naughty challenge from Bruno from behind, but nonetheless, it carries on. Matt Nuraman just mop things up as Matt Nuraman does. No problems from him. Here's Hafiz again. Lee Kuan Woo just trying to make himself available. Kamara threads that one forwards, gets it back, has options going forwards, clips one in. It's a dangerous ball as Rezwan finds himself in an advanced position. Well, normally a striker, and we saw him deployed last year at right back and left back, and now he's playing left wing as he chases to try and close everything down. So we know that his work rate and commitment is absolutely totally there as well.
Yeah, I can see that Mazrizwan this is very, we can get much fitter right now. From the right back, the right wing back, and now it's like the centre forward. I think he's making a good run with that.
Well, it is definitely a three that they are playing with Mezrezwan pushed in a little bit more, and Kamara. He's dropped off deep now, though. That much we do know. Matt Nuraman again just picks it up rather easily. Draws the foul and the challenge. That's the experience that he brings. It is quite remarkable. We were just touching on it earlier, weren't we, Naz, that to play for the national team after 2 years out and come back and do such a wonderful job, which he did against Jordan, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think, as I said, you have the experience for that, you know, and I always say that Nuraman is always supposed to be in the national team for all the while, you know, and I think he deserves to be a call-up for the national team.
Well, he's got to keep things strong at the back. Great work there from Lee Kuan Woo. Pulls it back. Real chance. Jordan Webb with the layoff and, well, hacked straight up in the air from Fukuda.
It was a good run by Lee, you know. I think he just said Jordan didn't take the chance to finish off.
Hideyoki Hara will look up and look forwards. look to smash this one down. The oldest player on the field of play, along with Lee Kuan-woo, 35 years old, or 35 years young, shall we say, still performing in goal. That ball threaded up the line. It's a good ball as well. Nur Rahman's there, calm and collected. Ismail Yunus getting a touch, as is Nur Azli. A little bit suspect there, and he gets stuck under Hafiz Rahim's feet and has to put a challenge in, and it was a little bit high. But once it gets away from you, it is very difficult, isn't it? As you have to put that challenge in.
Yeah, of course, you know, look at it, you know, once you make a mistake, you have to make sure you can recover the ball back, and you have no choice to make a challenge.
Bruno, the man upended. Not the best ball. Tatsuya Sase just trying to help it down the line. Here is Kamara again. Helps it on the run from the middle of the park, coming from Firdaus Idros. Kamara almost getting caught in possession. Nice little flick forwards for Firdaus. Kamara with a high looping ball in. Jordan Webb's the target, but never going to win that one. Kamara coming in from behind there. Looked as though he went for the ball and maybe just caught his man, but taken quickly from Albrechts. They're not messing around. Again, very much in their style of play. Well, they do look comfortable on the ball, this Albrecht side. And at times last year, when we saw them in games, they did look a little bit overzealous trying to pass and keep the ball, and a bit boring at times because no one had come out and attacked them. But at times you have to do that, don't you, Naz? You have to keep the ball, you have to try and work your midfielders and the opponents and the defenders to try and create those openings.
Yeah, of course, you know, because I can see today's what happened is Home United tried pushing very high. So we had very high pressing, you know. So I think the coach did a tactic to push to win the ball from the half.
Free kick awarded. And Jazwan in a little bit over the top, so it's going to be a free kick for Albrechts. The orange shirts looking to take this quickly, but the white shirts funneling back quite quickly to stop that quick free kick. So Albrechts will go all the way back and look to start again. Oh, just overran. And that's a poor little touch there from Noazli after he did all the hard work of winning that challenge. Just undoes it with a poor pass forwards. They are patient and methodical, as we mentioned. Nagasawa with the ball forwards. And again, Nur Rahman, who's started off extremely well at the back, organising his troops, gets to the ball first. See down in front of us, Lim Xiang is going absolutely mad at one of his players on the pitch. Not happy at all. Well, there's been a lot of speculation about him. Of course, there was all those rumours and the resignation on Facebook and then withdrawing it at the end of last season. It was a club that was in disarray towards the end of last year, Home United, all caused from the new modern media, as it were. Fortunately for Home United, stability now reigns. Nice little chest down there from Bruno. Nagasaki with time and space, beats one. Can he get a shot off? Nagasaki pulls the trigger. Goes down quickly. Yep, Nur Rahman was there in the way. Kamara looks to use his pace and go down the left-hand side. Good feet shown from him. And a nice little ball threaded forwards from Firdaus. Kamara, great ball in from Kamara. Well, if only they could have kept Frederick Mendy from last year, the man that was scoring all the goals, the big target man that was there. They haven't got that this year.
Yeah, I can see that, you know, if you have Frederick Mendy there, I'm sure he'll be there to win the hero balls, you know.
Well, that's twice that they've had the opportunity to get stuck in the air But unfortunately, it's a slightly different game that they play now without having that foil or outlet. Nice ball played through. Rizwan's made a run from nowhere, but Ryoke Hara was right on his toes. Good goalkeeping from him. Again, there's that overplaying a little bit where Albrechts do get caught in possession. Nicely dinked forwards, I should say, the ball into the path of Hafiz Rahim, but no point, no problem. Had to defend that, and that's exactly what Fakuda did. There's that little dink in. It's not a bad ball, is it?
Yeah, it's a great ball. You know, I think they are looking for opening because Albrechts is pushing quite high. So I think they have to come from running from the midfield. It's good for her to get a goal.
It's difficult though, isn't it? We'll touch on that a bit later on. Diagonal ball on a diagonal run and a flat run on a flat ball. It's very, very hard as this corner's taken short. Kamara looks to create another angle. Manages to deliver quality into the box. Jordan Webb, but as though he slipped and then nudged the defender, so the free kick has been awarded. Well, there is the man that some people don't know what he's doing. Sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing. There's times where he's played centre halves at centre forward and everybody playing all over the place, but he seems to be back on track now. Nice touch, nice play. Nagasaki feeds Bruno. Bruno feeds it out wide into Morisaki. They have got ever-willing runners going forwards, and pushing up from the back is Sase. Right ball fizzed in there. Matno Rahman gets his body in the way. Good defending from him.
As cool as always, Matno Rahman.
There's Rizwan. It's a nice ball, just tucked up the line. Fidos Idros, the man that's having to do all the chasing and the running. In fact, I think it was him that was on the end of the berating from Lee Lim Xiang a little bit earlier on. That's a poor ball from Lee Kwan Woo. Jordan makes the best of it. Jordan Webb. Seems to be a little bit more patience about Home United this year as well, compared with last year.
Yeah, I can see that they are very patient. Both teams are very patient. They're looking for opening for if there's any chance for them to create. But it seems that both are taking their times, you know, to get the opening.
Ismail Yunus just getting told off there. Lee Lim Sang just having a few words there with his other striker, Kui Masato. This year from J-League Side 2. Yanare Totore. He's come into the S-League this year. Of course, it's a revamped S-League and new rules and room for improvement as always. The league will be 2.5 rounds long. That means that each side will play each other twice, then the top 6 will go head-to-head, and the bottom 6 will as well. So a brand new format for this year's competition, which will make it very exciting come the end of the year. Free kick awarded right in the middle of the park, again taken very, very quickly.
Yeah, there's a push from the midfield from Hafiz. I think basically you know that there's no chance for him to get the ball, so there's no choice. The only choice to do is to push him down.
Was it just the one arm or two?
Yeah, it's 2 arms, I can see that.
Well, the referee was in the right place and awarded the free kick. Players obviously moved on from there. Home United electing to be very deep here. Albrechts holding a line about 10 metres into their own half. Kamara looks up, clips one forwards. To get back there is Ichikawa. Again, Fidos comes across to put the challenge in. Concedes the throw in.
It's a very good job, you know, for Fidos just to put on pressure so that the defender can make a mistake, and you have to at least press him and then get a corner. I mean, throwing for Albrechts.
see what the intention was there from Hafiz Rahim. Fortunately, the runners weren't willing up front. Oh, straight through to the keeper. And again, Albrecht's play out from the back. Long ball forwards. No, Rahman heads it back inside. Hafiz does well just to pick up that loose ball.
It's very important, you know, where the challenge coming from a defender, you know, the midfield have come to collect the loose ball. I think it's very important to get like the second ball.
It's always important to win that second ball, but just explain why, Naz, because it helps to pull players around, doesn't it, and pull players out of position so that you can create spaces for yourself.
Yeah, of course, you know, I mean, if you create space and open up space, basically you keep the opponent confused, you know, what exactly you're going to do. So for me, I think it's always good to have that kind of option to pick out the second balls.
Masato fires it forwards, nice little layoff. Idros is in here. Idros! Follow up from Mejrezwan with the left foot. And, well, the less said about that, the better. But again, the right back pushing right up and being in the thick of the action, but a real opportunity for Home United.
Yeah, again, Mazrizwan is always there. During there's an opening, Mazrizwan is always there. Something from the right back coming to the middle. I think it shows that he really wanted to show. And I can see that he's upset that he didn't score the goal. You know, you can see from his expression.
Little shake of the head there. Knows he should have done better. Has scored twice for the national team. That much we do know. Been a bit dry in goals since Lee Lim Xiang has said, well, you're going to go and play in defence for me. Always a handful when you play against him, though, or when we used to play against him, Mejrezwan.
Yeah.
Actually good for a defender to see him at the other end of the field.
Yeah.
Throw in for Albrechts. Sato will just leave this and push on. Sase will step up from the right back position. A couple of options forwards. Bruno's one of them. Nice little touch from him. It's dispossessed though. Pirdos Idros again. Nice little ball forwards. Here is Masato. Masato with a bit of time and space. He's got Jordan Webb in the middle. He finds Jordan Webb. It's got to be 1-0. What a save. Harder quickly off his line. Narrowed that angle and made it very, very difficult for Webb to score. Danger's not over yet, though. Ball play forwards from Hafiz. Albrechts managed to deal with it on that occasion. But that second ball, the important second ball that you've been mentioning, picked up yet again by Lee Kuan Woo.
Yeah, again, as I said, as you can see, when you are in their half, it's better for you to get the second ball. And I think that shows that, you know, Home United is being pressing in them and winning the second ball.
Albrecht's just trying to get it out of the danger zone at the minute. There's the long range shot looped in. It's round the crossbar. Where has that come from?
You can see that within 1 minute, you can see 2 chances created by Home United. I think that shows that, you know, they really want to win this game.
Something out of absolutely nothing for Hafiz, and the danger still isn't clear as Pirdos gets upended. That's going to be the first yellow card of this game. It's going to go to Hota, so he goes into the book, but Home United looking to turn the screw here. 2 golden opportunities, and now a free kick in a very dangerous position.
That was a good run for Firdaus. I know you know that he just put the ball away. He gets a free kick for that. And I think this you know, he's still pressing and winning the ball, and then took a shot, and you know, it's a great shot.
Hafiz Rahim pulling that one from absolutely nowhere. There's confirmation to Hota receiving the yellow card. Well, we've got Lee Kuan Woo over this. We've got Kamara over this. Who's it going to be? Well, it is going to be Lee. It's Lee! Just wide. Had the pace and had the dip, the up and down over the wall, but just not the accuracy, but not a bad effort.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad effort. You can see there's a power in this strike, you know. Just gone wide, you know, but there's a pace with the ball. You can see the pace on the ball is gone.
Well, that is the one thing that will beat the keeper from that distance, is the pace of the ball.
Yeah.
So it's been a very interesting first 20 minutes. Ismail with a header. Webb. Oh, there's time to bring it down, and 2 or 3 touches there.
You can see that you know the second ball been picking up by Home United most of the time, you know, and Albrecht not even close them, you know, to go for the challenge.
They are looking to keep the ball themselves now, Home United. Mezrezwan tucks it up the line. Fidos just trying to use his upper body to get in there, but it was Nagasawa that puts the challenge in. Masato. Knows he should have done a little bit better there.
You can see that Fidos and Mazizwan working very well on the right side, you know, with good understanding. And if Mazizwan have to go up to attack, Fidos is always there to cover for him.
A little bit of head tennis ensuing. Ball finds touch, so there'll be a throw-in for Home United. Webb trying to twist and turn, gets upended, but losing out there. Sakamoto just manhandles and out-bullies Mezrezwan, so it is going to be a free kick that's just clipped in nicely to Masato on the turn. Well, the old adage, you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle, comes true there. Thought he'd try his luck.
Yeah, I think it's a very good combination play, and I think really offer the midfield to come to take a shot.
But linking up well there, Fidos coming from late. It's like you said earlier, Naz, isn't it, that that's where you can beat this Albrecht side, is by late runners coming in to join the play.
Yeah, there's a thing I've been telling, that, you know, you have to come from the back, coming from the midfield, you know, and as I said, you can see from the second ball, you get again Home United is there to collect the second ball.
Jordan Webb not happy at all there with Kamara. He told him to stay and has had to chase back 50 yards to go into the left back position. There's a naughty challenge from behind. Hafiz could be in trouble here. It's only going to be a yellow card. But nowadays, not in your day, of course, Naz, but nowadays any challenge from behind, it's a straight yellow card, really, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, you know, I mean, now you can see that the referees become more stricter, and then you can see that, you know, every turn from the back, definitely a yellow card. There's no two ways about it.
So, 0-0 on the score sheet, 1-1 on the yellow card count. Here it is again.
Yep.
Right,
yeah, again, you can see, again, you tackle from the back, definitely, you know, straight a yellow card for him.
Good closing down there in the middle of the park, just hassling and hustling. Unfortunately, Norazli just a little bit too keen to get in there and win that ball. United looking to press here. Lee puts the challenge in, does well. Oh, that's a little bit of a soft one, it has to be said. Masato getting called back for the free kick. Both players coming together.
Yeah, I think you can see the last 5-10 minutes ago, we can see Home United is on their Albrecht's half, you know, and I think the instruction was given by the coach, and can hear from him yelling and shouting at the players to push forward to win their half, you know.
Well, you wonder if Albrechts have a plan B, because they've all pushed forwards now. They're going to allow Hirioke Hara to drill this one forwards. The referee indicating that he's going to stop the watch, but there's only 25 minutes gone. It is Hara who puts his foot right through it. Ismail is going to win the header. Second ball flicked on there from Hafiz. We're doing well to win it. Here's Hafiz again, trying to find Mezrezwan, but plays it too far forward, so Albrechts looking to try and get away with it, but they don't, because here comes Masato. Masato clips it into the middle. Intelligent play there from the Japanese striker, but unfortunately couldn't find his intended target.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I can see that he win the ball again, and then look at this. For me, I think at this position, he's going to take a stride because there's too many defenders at a point of time.
Actually interesting what you were saying earlier, and the more and more this game goes on, and I know we're touching on it, Naz, but the second ball, and do you see who's winning it? It is Lee Kwan-woo, the veteran player, the Korean international, that seems to be picking up that loose ball every time and closing down at the right time, and that's the experience that you just can't buy, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You know, I mean, you've been there for many years, been playing football with me. I'm sure with the experience, you know, you can't buy. And he read the games well, you know, when the right time to collect the second ball.
Keep an eye on him, the number 13. And he is in the centre of your screen. As it is, it's Albrechts that look to try and make something happen yet again, but don't. Hafiz did well to win that ball and finds Firdaus out wide. That's going to be an Albrechts throw. Good closing down from Murasaki. Closed him down from the wrong side and played it off his foot, so the orange shirts will have the throw in. That's a foul, no question about that. Ismail Yunus was never really going to get away with that, wearing bright yellow boots. The referee see that straight away. Challenges starting to fly in now. Great ball forward from Lee to Masato. Masato, hustle and bustle, loses out on that occasion. Murasaki playing it out wide. And given away again. Lee picks up that loose ball and free kick's been awarded. Well, we have to be honest, don't we? I mean, the game's got bitty now, hasn't it, Naz? It's got stop, start, stop, start. It's not as flowing as it was in the opening 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, you can see, I mean, everybody's going for a tackle and trying to win the ball, the second ball. Every time Albrechts made a mistake, he tried to win the ball back. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of tackles and, you know, being stopped by the referee most of the time. Headed forwards from Bruno. There's no one there. Kang Hong-won. No mistakes from the Korean keeper. I can see the last 10-20 minutes he haven't got the ball yet. I think the defense playing well. I think he's well organized at the back with Rahman marshalling at the back. He's having an excellent game, there's no question about that. In fact, both keepers have hardly touched the ball. It just seems to have been action-packed in the middle of the park, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. And you do get games like that. I'm sure you've played in plenty. Yeah, I mean, you expect all this, you know. I mean, most of the time it's all in the middle of the park, and then we'll be winning every ball, and then you challenge every ball, and you can see that, you know, we just have to be more patient in building up the game. Not a happy man at the moment, Lim Xiang. Mind you, I don't think, since he's been in charge at Home United, I don't think I've ever seen him smile. Headed forwards from Ismail. That's a clash of heads there. The referee needs to stop that straight away. Kamara went flying in there, right in the front of his head as well. That's going to be nasty. Sato has gone down as well. Doesn't look too bad, though. I think every time there's a challenge at the head, basically, you know, you have to get the medical doctor to come in quickly. And look at the challenge going for the ball, eyes at the ball, and look, both of the players eyeing at the ball, and, you know, they didn't see what's happening at the right left. Well, it happens, doesn't it? Yeah, and as you can see, the rain just starting to fall now at the Jalan Besar Stadium. Yeah, I can see that. Both players back to their feet and look as though they're going to be okay to carry on. Going to be a drop ball from Liu Tianho, the referee, who hasn't looked bad so far tonight. Praise where praise is due, Nas. We do have to mention that when the officials do perform extremely well, that they do deserve a little bit of credit and praise. Yeah, I think the official managed the game very well the last 30 minutes, and I think he's been controlling the game very well. One thing that we do have to mention now that it's just started to rain is a new safety measure that's been put in by the Singapore Sports Council at all of the stadia throughout Singapore, and that is the lightning detector, and there is a red light that will flash that is down pitch side, which will mean the teams will have to come off. Good strong challenge coming in there. It means that Lightning is in the area, and as we've seen so far, a couple of games have already been delayed with their finish and have had to finish a little bit later on, not more so than the 6-1 drubbing, which I know you really turned your eyes up at. You couldn't believe that result with Tanjong Pagar beating SAF Warriors. The game finished at about 11:15 at night because of this, but it's for safety, and it's a safety element, and it's obviously a good issue from the Sports Council.
I think it's very important because, I mean, for safety measure, you know, we need to monitor and make sure that, you know, there's nothing happen, you know. So for Singapore, I think safety has always been the #1.
Well, we won't have that problem when the new national stadium has been done and is covered, because they'll just close the roof, so there's no problem there.
Yes, of course, you know.
And that does look a very, very impressive building, where, of course, there will be games played, not only for the national team, but cup games, and a chance here for Albrecht to break the deadlock, breaking through. Nagasaki tried to square it, closed down quickly. There's an important challenge coming in there as well. Still Nagasaki. Well, that was a dive. Well, he's got away with that. The contact must just have been there to an extent, but the way that Nagasaki went down was, well, not the best, shall we say. You don't throw your arms up in the air.
Yeah, but I can see that he tried to jump and show that, you know, that he really have a contact, and, you know, that's kind of thing, you know, I think referee does well.
Oh, we have seen yellow cards for that, haven't we?
I think that's before that it was a good cover-up by Azli, you know, managed to pressure on the defense on Albirex players.
Well, it looks as though the rain has slightly subsided, so that's a good thing. Not a good thing for Home United though, because they have to defend here, and it's going to be important that they defend well. They've dropped quite deep, it has to be said. It is going to be Sato that will deliver this. Sato, who played here last year, of course, for Albrecht Niigata, one of the few players that did. Let's see what quality he can provide from this wide area. 5 orange shirts to aim for in the box. It's going to be Sato, looks to deliver. Whips it into the penalty spot, and no one there. Jordan Webb doing well just to get his body in.
Well, you can see again the pace of the ball, you know, and basically I think well covered and well defended by Home United, who managed to put pressure on the opponent. I think that's what we have. I mean, as a coach, I always wanted the players, I mean, at the penalty box, he tried to, as much as he can, put on pressure on the opponent.
Doesn't mean that you have to win it either, does it? Oh, 1, 2, 3, that's it. 3 or 4 challenges, and, well, Mejreswan finds himself in the book as well. The referee is saying, I've had enough. That's persistent infringement of the rules of the game, which, of course, Naz, you never got booked for in your career, did you?
Of course, I normally when I got a book, it's always a fair book. You know, I will go for the ball. I don't mean to intend to hit the players. You know, I always go fair, and sometimes the referee just call it at the wrong time.
Well explained. Sase looks up, tries to play it inside. Lee is there again, mopping up. Losing out on that occasion, though. There he is, closing down, and tireless running from the Korean, it has to be said. Ichikawa comes forward, finds Nagasaki. Well, they have options with Bruno on this near side, and Sase. Sase in the right-back position, just keeps it nice and simple. Virdos goes and closes down. Now Webb goes and closes down. Ichihara's bitten off more than he could chew there, because he's given it away, and Jordan Webb, well, not the best pass, shall we say, but Mejreswan on the overlap looking to get in there, so Home United again looking comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, again, they have been pressing on Albrecht's half, you know, and every time when the defender get a ball, you can see the 2 forward really press and working very hard to win the ball. And again, the second ball, you can see will be collected by Home United.
Webb just feeds it forward, a lovely little ball into Hafiz, who pulls it back into the middle. No nonsense defending needed. Fukuda it was who came across to clear his lines, but again, industrious from Home United, closing down incredibly quickly, winning that second ball and hitting on the counter-attack.
Yeah, but again, you can see a very unselfish play by Afis and try to cut back for Jordan, but unlucky, you know, just that the defender is there at the right time and the right price.
Do you want your player to be a little bit more greedy there and maybe go for goal?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it, that kind of situation, 6-yard box, there's no ways, you know, if you can, you just take a shot, anything can happen, reflected or even a bounce back, you know, you have a chance for the second ball.
Kamara with the ball in, almost a free header for Masato. And there's Lee just getting something on the ball. It's enough to allow the white shirts to funnel back.
That shows our experience, you know. Any chance that you can get a ball, just using whatever part of your leg, you know.
It's like you said, he just drifts around, and that experience of being in the right place at the right time, and he was again there, wasn't he?
Correct. You can see that. You know that you can read the game that the player is going to make a pass to the left side and just put his leg there, and you know that shows the experience that he have, you know, by reading the game.
36 minutes gone, just under 9 minutes to go till half-time. Still 0-0. Bruno helps that ball forwards. Noraman again making sure that he doesn't lose possession of the ball. His pass rate and his completion rate is about 100% this first half. Hasn't given the ball away at all.
He's very cool and I mean, he's always comfortable with the ball, you know. You know when the time to play and when the time to keep the ball.
Here's Lee, who's dropped very deep. Hafiz comes short as well. Looks forwards, the outside of the foot. A great ball as well for Webb. Webb using his pace to get in behind. Albrechts have to defend here. Webb gets to the byline. Can he cut it back? He can, but he can only flick at it. That was the problem. Not two balls on the pitch.
Yeah, you can see that, you know, against one situation, you know, try to beat the players, you know, and again try to cut back, and I think his effort that really pushed really hard.
Masato, the layoff. Kamara delivers quality. Win! What a good save that was from Hara. Good play from home. It looked like they'd conjured something out of nothing there, because the ball was stuck under Kamara's feet, and he's managed to deliver a quality ball into the box, and the little flick header from Webb, not a million miles away.
Yeah, you can see that, you know, Webb is facing his body, facing his own goal, but he managed to make a turn, and I think the goalkeeper make a very great save.
Here's Lee again. A little bit of time and space. Keeps the ball. Hafiz back to Lee. Just dinks one in. It's a lovely ball. Mezrezwan again wants the free kick, not given. Oh, that's a nasty challenge from behind there, and that could be trouble for Noazli. Well, upended was Sakamoto. It is a yellow card. There you go. Again, it's another challenge from behind. No sympathy, and 100% correct from the referee. Silly challenge, though.
Yeah, it's a silly challenge, you know, and Lee is there, almost there to win a challenge, but I think Noazli didn't know that he's there, and then that's why he got the players there.
Oh, yellow card for Noazli Yusuf. Well, everybody keen and eager, tuning in at home to watch this one. They want to see how well Albrechts are going to be and good they are this year, and can Home United turn things round. Now they are. They've got to defend. Great ball whipped in. Good hands. Gang on one. Well, we like this boy. The more we're seeing him, he's comfortable. He comes off his line to claim things and doesn't look bad at all, the 23-year-old, does he?
Yeah, I mean, well read, you know, and he managed to get the ball down and managed to go down to win the ball. And I mean, for the last 10-20 minutes, he went got a ball when there's a ball there. He's always, you know, managed to save it with a safe hand.
Hasn't let anything slip yet. Of course, Tampines using Sasha Drebin again this season. Again, another young keeper that looks the business. He has made one or two errors, but young goalkeepers always do, don't they? we're coming towards the end of this first half. Naz, what's your take on this first half and how it's gone so far?
I can see that basically the first half, Home United has been controlling the game, and you can see the last 20 minutes, you know, they're creating chances to chances, you know. I think for me, in the first half, I can see that Home United is both better than Brex.
Kamara gets caught from behind, but play allowed to continue. Gets caught from behind again. Play allowed to continue. Hafiz dinks one forwards. As Rizwan is not going to get there. And the referee is just going to go and have a little quiet word here with Bruno Castaneda. So Hara will get us back underway. Easily dealt with by Ismail Yunus. Strong challenge coming in there from Masato. Didn't really look to play the ball. Did play the man instead. Tsuye Sase, but free kick's been awarded. Time ticking by. Not that long to go till half-time. Can anyone break the deadlock before half-time? Just a couple of minutes to go. Played out wide as Rizwan. Poor touch from him by his standards. That has to be said. Mota getting involved, as is Murasaki. Played forward into Nagasaki, who's made a run from deep. And now they look to come out the other way. Sato gets caught in possession, which allows Kamara a little bit of time and space. Flicks it forward. Here's Webb. Webb out wide to Kamara. Not the best ball in the world from Webb. Does well to chase back though. Looks up to the skies and shrugs his shoulders. Knows he should have done a little bit better there. Home United looking to push very quickly here. Mezrezwan's pushed in. Just flick forwards though from Murasaki. And yet again, the ball finds its way all the way back. And Home United just stroke it around at the back and just try to keep possession and see this through till half-time. Lee dinks one forwards, looks for the run of Masato. Masato got there. He was under pressure from Fukuda. Nyokihara looked as though he was a little way off his line, and that's unlucky because Masato just tried to get there and nick it over everybody. Time looking as though it's coming just at the right time as we have a look at the Albrecht fans there with all the orange shirts on, giving everybody a wave. It is nice to see that Albrecht Niigata have supported the S League for so long now. It really is remarkable that they sustain themselves here and use it as a feeder club to put young players and give young players the opportunity to play and ply their trade under the Albrecht banner. Of course, they've been in the league since 2004. So this their 10th season. Lee! And he created a space for himself there. Stepped inside and you could see exactly what he was trying to do. Looked for that top corner, but unfortunately just leant back a little bit. And high and wide. So 1 minute of time will be added on at the end of the first 45. As Sakamoto looks to bring it down. Noraman again with a brilliant challenge. Just wins it nice and easily and looks to get things going again. Lee. Bit of time and space. I think both sides now keen and eager just to see it through to half-time with a scoreline like this. Just regroup themselves and have a few words. See how they come out this second half. May still have a little bit of drama right here at the end, though. Webb gets down to the 6-yard line and puts a cross in, but nobody's there. Yunus wins the header. The referee checks his watch and feels that there's just a few more seconds, stops the watch himself, blows the whistle, and that will do it for half-time. So it's an interesting first half that has to be said. Home United were on top, there's no question about that. Albrechts Niigata have passed the ball around, they've passed it around well, but the best opportunity fall in the way of Home United when they rattle a crossbar after about half an hour and should really be in the lead. We've got our half-time show coming up with Shazad Kelly and Nasri Nasir will be in the studio. And the scoreline here at the Jalan Besar Stadium at the end of the first half, Albrechts Niigata 0, Home United 0. So it was Home United that started brightly. Nice ball whipped in, but Webb unfortunately nudging at the far post and conceding the corner. The free kick, sorry. Masato has been lively. No question about that. Firdos had the shot, well saved by Hara, and really Mezrezwan should have scored here. Mezrezwan with loads of time and space, just snatched at it and pushed the shot wide. That was one of the best opportunities, it has to be said, of that first half. Then a nothing shot really from Hafiz Rahim. Out of absolutely nothing, just swung his leg at it and somehow managed to find the crossbar. Hara in goal was totally beaten, but unfortunately it didn't dip enough. For the marquee player, Lee Kwan Woo has played well. He's broken everything up in the middle of the park for Home United and wasn't a million miles away with that free kick either. Good teamwork again with Masato chesting it down and Firdos joining in the play, but unfortunately leaning back. The ball just wouldn't sit down quickly enough for him. That was the problem. That's probably the best chance that Albrechts conjured up. The ball whipped in by Sato. Fukuda just couldn't get on the end of it. A lot of blocking going on there from Albrechts, but all to no avail. Webb just took the ball down to Hafiz. Hafiz pulled it back across the face of goal when really could have gone for goal himself, but unselfishly looked for his teammates. Good defending yet again from Fukuda. Another good opportunity as Kamara dug this out from under his feet, and Webb found himself totally unmarked. Nice little flick header and a good save by Hara. Albrechts have tried to knock on the door, but Yang Hong-woon in goal, showing really good hands here, diving at full stretch out to the 6-yard box and managed to keep it safely within his grasp. Lee again has shown flashes of brilliance, stepping back inside and looking to bend it into that top corner, but unfortunately it went high and wide. Well, the stats show that Home United have 3 yellow cards to Albrechts Niigata's 1, but they have had more shots on and off target, 9 altogether, compared with just that solitary chance for Albrechts Niigata. And as you can see from the possession stats at the bottom, it's Home United that should be winning this game.